Combo Pro. Now, the King Combo is a multi-purpose ladder designed for versatility and safety in 3 unique positions. The heart of the King Combo is the single paddled hinge. By squeezing in the hinge, that disengages both the left and the right hinge at the same time. Hold that in, bring it into its closed or locked position. Now make sure that both the left and the right hinge are completely seated and locked into place before using your King Combo. Now in this position, designed to do this work, the back legs, the back feet, and the hinge and the top cap are all designed to be used in this leaning position. You'll notice that this skid-resistant pad allows you to lean the ladder against flat walls, allowing you to face the work and face the ladder, which is always a best practice in any position. But this wall pad also rotates by applying even pressure on both the left and the right side. Squeeze those in, and now that pad will rotate, lock into place, allowing you to tackle jobs inside corners, outside corners, against 2x4 studs, pipes, or poles. The versatility equals safety in this position. Again, reverse the process to bring it back into its stored, locked position, and then open the King Combo into its locked A-frame configuration. You'll notice in this position, the back legs are also parallel or straight, allowing the ladder to be used in between 16-inch on-center studs, eliminating the need to overreach. Again, being closer to the work is always a safer alternative. On the side that we're climbing, nice and wide for side tip stability. And we'll caution you when using the A-frame configuration, never stand on the top rung, never stand on the top cap. When we put the ladder into the extension ladder position, we squeeze that single-handed hinge in one more time, bringing it into its final 3rd configuration. Now we can use the King Combo's second to top rung. We can use the top cap as a standing surface, giving you versatility at additional heights when maybe an A-frame wasn't enough or an extension ladder might be too much. The wide base here at the bottom, and then the parallel section up here at the top, allowing us to get up into attic access or tight spaces. Also, the feet at the top of the King Combo are flat, so they're parallel against the wall that we're leaning the ladder against. Now a short extension ladder might be exactly what you need in this configuration. Bringing the ladder into its stored position, just squeeze that single-handed hinge again, and now the King Combo, again, fiberglass, rated at 375 pounds. That's a Type 1 AA, the highest rating that OSHA offers to ladders when they're made. And a few quick reminders here. Choose the right ladder for the job, set it up correctly, and maintain 3 points of contact when you're climbing up and down any ladder.
Hi, I'm Dave Francis, National Safety Director for Little Giant Ladder Systems, and this is the aerial safety cage by Little Giant. First off, cages are very big pieces of equipment. They're not meant to replace a standard 6 or 8 foot A-frame. That's not their purpose. These are replacements for scissor lifts in situations where you can't get a big lift in, or for jobs that you would set up small scaffolding jobs. This is going to be faster, more adjustable. It's going to be fiberglass, so it's non-conductive. So it's for all those hard to reach places where you would normally use a scissor lift or a small set of scaffolding. You can see in those situations, having something like this is going to be very cost effective compared to those other options. First off is the weight. I'm going to demonstrate it as a single person, but I recommend that you use 2 people when operating the cage because of the weight. We're going to use the tip and glide wheels. Just roll it out to where you need it. Raise it up until those feet make contact, and then walk it up from there. Now, as you're opening and closing this, you're going to want to make sure that your hands are down here, not up here where there's a pinch point. And go ahead and spread that out until this comes down and these locking mechanisms lock onto this crossbar right here at the top. Climbing the cage is 3 points of contact. If you have a rule of 3 points of contact, where you can't let go unless you're tied off from above, then this would be exactly what you're looking for. Now, they're one-way walk-in gates. As you climb it, just push your way through it. They'll lock behind you. Now you have a 42-inch handrail, mid-span, toe kick. For those 3 point of contact issue or tie off at certain height issues, now I'm working out of an engineered guardrail system. So I can work 360 degrees with both hands in every direction, get the job done comfortably and contained within the footprint of the ladder. To get back down, I'm gonna have to open this gate inward towards me, pin it with my hip as I reach around and open the other gate behind me. Now I'm gonna climb back down 3 points of contact. Now this particular model is a 5 to 9. Starts out at a 5-foot platform, that's where your feet are, raises up to a 9-foot platform, and it does it 1 foot at a time on either side. So if you're working in uneven surfaces, stadium seating, stages, any kind of stairwell, sloped ground of any kind, you can just adjust one side longer than the other. Now to adjust this in height, you're simply going to unlock the rock locks on the side of the cage. Pressing at the bottom of the rock lock, it will lock into the open position. You do that on both sides. Now the intersection of the cage is free to slide up and down. You want to move your hands away from all of these rungs that could cause a pinch point and push the upper section of the cage away from you. Now those rock locks can lock back into place at every one of these rung holes. You can half lock them in between, and then when you get to the next available hole, they'll lock into place. We recommend that you only raise this a few rungs at a time. You don't want the top of the cage to get top heavy and tip that direction. So raise this side of the cage, step over to the other side, repeat the process, unlocking the rock locks, and then raising that side back up the other direction. And of course, you can go a few feet past that other side, locking that in place. Now, as this adjusts in height, the bottom is going to spread open. So you're going to want to make sure that the bottom of the cage isn't stuck by readjusting those feet to that more flared position. Again, finish the process, open the rock locks on the side, keep your hands out of any kind of pinch points, and then raise the top section of the cage up to its maximum height, spread the base at the bottom. To move the cage around, once it's in the open position, we use the wheel lift. The easiest way to do that is raising the ladder with your arms at the same time that you're pressing down with your foot and locking those in place. Now the ladder can be easily moved wherever you need to use it. The cage should never be climbed on while the wheel lifts are in the open position. They need to be dropped down to the closed position. The cage passes all of the side tip tests with the flare that it already has, but if you're going to go up higher, you might need a little bit more stability. So we've added the outriggers. These function by pressing this button right here on the backside. That allows this to move out and deploy. Press it again if you have enough room to deploy at that kind of an angle. These are bayonet style levelers. So twist to your right, telescope it down until it makes contact, and then tighten, twisting to the left or counterclockwise. Again, repeat that process on the other side of the cage. Deploy it out, twist clockwise, drop it down, and then twist counterclockwise to put it in the position. Now, you're never going to want to adjust the height of the cage or move the cage with the outriggers deployed. These need to be closed. Just reverse the process, telescope them up, press this button on the back to put these back into place. You want to do that before you make any adjustment to the height or position of the cage. So in order to lower the cage to a lower height or put it back into the closed position, you're going to use the rope grab or descent control system on the side of the ladder. So if you unlock these rock locks on this side of the ladder, you'll notice that gravity would normally cause this to just slide down. This brake system prevents that from happening. What we want you to do is step away, keep your hands out of any of these possible pinch points, and use the descent control on the side to feather it out and slowly get your ladder to descend 1 or 2 rungs at a time. Now, again, they don't have to line up perfectly with the hole. I can lock those back into place and then slowly allow that to drop down until that locks into place, and then go over to the other side and make sure that the rope grab is unlocked to start coming back down. Then use that rope grab, again, making sure that you keep your hands outside of. We don't want to just unlock this and allow the entire thing to slam shut. So we're going to slowly bring it down a rung at a time until we lock it into place, and then finish the process. Again, keeping our hands out of any pinch points, and then allowing that to telescope down. Lock those in place. Now to completely close the cage, we're going to raise up on these hooks at the back. That's going to unlock the top platform, allowing that to tip up. And close the cage completely. Walk that back, hand over hand, until those wheels connect. And then that's going to allow you to move it to the next position. Now that's the 5 to 9 aerial safety cage. The bigger 8 to 14 operates just a little bit differently, so we're going to want to take a moment to show the differences. On the larger 8 to 14 foot cage, it operates just a little bit differently. We still have the rock locks, but we also have a rope pulley device that's similar to an extension ladder. So you're going to unlock the rock locks on both sides and then use the rope pulley system to raise that ladder up again. You're only going to want to go 1 to 2 rungs at a time so that the top of the ladder doesn't become top heavy. And then you're going to need to adjust the bottom. As it goes up, it's going to flare out. So make sure that the bottom of the ladder is in position. Lock those rock locks in place and then get it to that next position. Return to the other side. Unlock your rock locks and then raise that up using the rope. Again, you can go 2 rungs up and then past that a little bit and then lock that in place. And again, back to the other side. Always maintain control of your rope as you unlock that. Raise that up. Here's your last rung. Lock those in place. And then go up to that last rung. Again, adjust the bottom. Now again, this is the replacement for a scissor lift or a scaffolding system. So it does take a few minutes to get it set up, but it is a lot faster than the alternative. Lock those in place. Now you're at the full 14-foot height. In order to get that down, you're going to reverse the process. You're going to always want to make sure that you maintain control of the rope and that you keep your hands outside of any kind of sliding pinch points. So bring that down. You're going to pull that towards you to get it to unlock. That allows you to control the descent. Don't unlock this and just let go of it and allow gravity to bring that all the way down. That's going to damage the cage and possibly cause harm to people in the surrounding area. So you're going to want to control the descent, keeping your hands outside of any kind of pinch point, dropping it down a couple of rungs at a time each time. And again, you're going to adjust that flare at the bottom as you do it so that you can control using the rope. All right, now that we're at the lowest, this is down to the 8-foot height. In order to unlock the 8-footer, you're going to need to take a step up the backside of the cage. Now there's stickers in place, warnings in place that you're not supposed to climb the backside of the cage while somebody's on the front side, or use the backside as a climbing. You can't step up on that bottom rung in order to grab these tabs at the platform that unlock it. Raise that up enough that you can then push the bottom end in. This is rated for 375 pounds, so it is a 1AA product, one man only climbing the front of the cage. If you purchased your cage with the factory installed ratchet levelers, this is how they work. If the ground is uneven or sloped at all, you just step on the tab at the bottom of that foot, and that's going to telescope out and allow you to level that to the ground. So all of those really fine adjustments and leveling you do just by stepping on the tab on the side of that and ratchet it down to the desired height. Now they're spring loaded up. To get them to close, you're going to pull on this tab out away from you, and that's going to telescope back up to take the weight off of that, pull until those disengage. That's the ratchet leveler for your cage, aerial safety cage system. Another accessory for the aerial safety cage is the saddlebag. It's made of a ballistic nylon, so it's a heavy-duty tool bag that attaches to the top rail of your guardrail system. Just snap it in place, and then it has some longer nylon straps that go down to the midspan, holding it in place. Make sure that your flap is facing inward so that you can easily access those tools from inside of the cage. You're going to want to inspect your cage before each use. Basic things apply if it's cracked, bent, broken, or split on any part of the cage. If it wasn't there when we manufactured it, you don't know what it's rated for now. That cage needs to be tagged out, taken out of service, and looked at and replaced. Any kind of maintenance on any of the moving parts, you can lube them using a silicone dry lube, a DuPont silicone dry lube, or any other brand. Don't use a oil or a WD-40, and make sure that when you spray it, that you get it on the moving parts, but not on the rungs where somebody could slip, or on the ropes that are used to raise and lower the cage. We want to make sure that the dry lube gets just on those moving parts. If you have any questions about the function of the cage while you're using it, there's a QR code right here on the label of the product. You can scan with a smartphone. It pulls up a training video. That's the aerial safety cage.
The leveler, as the name implies, has leveling legs, which is one of my favorite features of this ladder, but it's not the only thing that the leveler can do. There are only a few moving parts, easy to use, easy to set up, easy to store. Let's go to the hinge. To create the shape of the ladder, simply squeeze in the palm button of the hinge. You can do that with your fingers, you can do that with the palm of your hand, bringing that both into the stored position, into the A-frame, and then ultimately into the extension ladder position. One of the only other moving parts of the leveler are the rapid locks. As we rotate the rapid lock 90 degrees, that simply takes a metal pin and pulls it out of the inner section of the ladder. Just rotate that. Always making sure that the rapid locks are fully seated, locked into place for your safety. Now the sections of the leveler can be telescoped in 1 foot increments. I can bring that to 1 foot taller, 2 feet taller, or depending on the size of leveler that you have, multiple sizes. The rapid lock is spring assisted, so make sure that you lock that into place. But if for any reason we misalign that metal pin, you rotate that over that hole and it will lock into place. Make sure that that's completely locked before using a ladder. We do the same thing over here on the opposite side of the ladder. Rotate that rapid lock, bring it up into its taller position as needed. Now you have multiple sizes of an A-frame or step ladder without the spreader bar to get in the way. This allows the leveler to be placed over fences, rose bushes, even furniture in the home, because the hinge does that work for you. Also, the leveler carries a 300-pound weight capacity. That's a Type 1A OSHA and ANSI certification. And because the leveler is double-sided, it's 300 pounds on each side at the same time, only in the A-frame configuration. Of course, the sides of the leveler are independent from each other. So simply offsetting one side shorter than the other would allow me to create what's called a 90-degree position. We're simply climbing up this side. Now we're square next to walls, windows, hedges, whatever we might need to get next to, but we don't want to lean the ladder against. So we're still freestanding. Again, this is the side that we're climbing, and we're right up next to the work. To create a ladder that works on unlevel terrain, whether it's a porch, staircases, now we can adjust the side of the ladder a little bit shorter or a lot shorter than the other to compensate for those extremely unlevel surfaces. That's why people have bought Little Giant ladders for nearly 50 years to be able to tackle work in the middle of a staircase. Now we're going to create the extension ladder position. Simply bring the ladder back into its stored position. We're going to simply unlock the hinge, bring it into its extension ladder position. We do this on either the floor or the ground, and notice that I've prepared the leveler so that the leveling legs will be on the bottom of the ladder, the wheels will be on the top of the ladder. Don't get that wrong. That's for your safety and so that you can take advantage of those leveling legs. And we'll show you those in just a second. With the ladder prepared on the floor or the ground, now we're going to create the length or the height that we might need depending on what the job requires. Unlock the rapid locks just like we did in the A-frame configuration and telescope the legs to be the length or the height for the job. We can do that on both the top and the bottom of the ladder. Now I'm going to place the bottom of the ladder against the edge of a building. By placing the bottom of the ladder against something solid, now hand over hand, I can bring the ladder up into its upright position. Once it's in the vertical position, now I can pull the ladder away from its leaning surface, creating that 4-to-1 ratio or 75-degree angle that we would always recommend. Now this is where the leveler really shines. I've put a brick here to simulate any kind of unlevel surface. That could be unlevel terrain, a hillside, a slope, even a curb, or where your flower beds might be. When we have a ladder on unlevel terrain, it's tempting to put rocks and bricks, pieces of wood underneath the ladder, but that wouldn't be safe. So with the leveler, being able to extend that leg up to 7 inches of adjustment on the right side and another 7 inches of adjustment on the left side because there's another leveler built in there. Now the work is safer because we've created a firm, level surface that everybody needs underneath their ladders. To retract the leveler, simply squeeze the housing and bring that leveler back up into its storage position. To bring the ladder down, we'll just reverse the process by putting the ladder down here at the bottom of the base or the wall that we've leaned the ladder against, and hand over hand, walking the ladder back, Flipping the ladder over and bringing these legs back into their storage position. Squeeze the palm buttons until the hinge unlocks, and bring the ladder into either the A-frame or back to our storage position. Now take advantage of the wheels that are pre-installed by being able to roll the ladder through the home or through the next job site. Like other multi-purpose ladders that Little Giant makes, the leveler can be separated into 2 separate trestles. Of course, there's a whole family of accessories that are compatible with the leveler ladder to get even more safety, more use out of your system. And you can find all those details in the description below. We would love to hear your comments, your questions, your feedback in the comment section, and click that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications so that you can stay current on all things Little Giant as we create innovation for the leveler and other Little Giant products. And a few quick reminders, of course, choose the right ladder for the job, set it up correctly, maintain 3 points of contact when you're climbing up and down any ladder. This is the Leveler by Little Giant Ladder Systems. The Epic comes as a bundle, including the air deck, the Epic step, the trestle brackets, the ladder rack, and the safety rails. Let's show you how the Epic works. Although the safety rails are an important part of the Epic multi-purpose ladder, they're designed to store on board the ladder, but if for ease of use or transportation, you would like to take those off, then simply slide the safety rails off and set those aside while you're using the ladder. Like many other Little Giant multi-purpose ladders, really it only comes down to 2 things to make the Epic work. The hinge creates the shape, bringing it into a stored position, opening it up to an A-frame position, or opening it again to be the extension ladder. To make the Epic taller, simply rotate the rapid locks 90 degrees. That allows the legs to be changed at 1 foot intervals. Every 12 inches, we can stop and make the Epic a bigger size. One of the accessories included with your Epic bundle is the air deck. Now, the air deck is a fantastic accessory, not only to place tools, putty knives, hammers, and round gallons of paint, but it also acts as a safety rail as you climb in the A-frame position. You'll notice that the Epic has air deck ports. As you climb the ladder, notice that the air deck needs to be opposite of the way that I'm facing. Simply lock the air deck into the air deck ports, making sure that that's fully seated. Now I can use the handrail as I climb up and down, or open the air deck into its locked position to place tools and accessories up here at the top. Now again, I'm sure-footed and can maintain 3 points of contact in that A-frame configuration. One of the unique features of the Epic is that it has multi-position air deck ports. So simply lifting the air deck port, rotating that, and placing it up against that hinge allows the air deck to be placed in a horizontal position. Now, depending on the configuration of your tools or the work that you're doing, now tools, equipment can be placed on the air deck in this configuration. When the air deck's not needed, simply unlock and remove the air deck, placing those air deck ports back into their original position. To continue working at even higher heights, we can unlock those rapid locks and make the epic even taller. Always make sure that your rapid locks are fully locked and completely seated before climbing the ladder. Another accessory that adds value and is included in that Epic bundle is the Epic Step. It has the same 300-pound capacity that the ladder has and can be placed on any rung in the A-frame or the extension ladder position. Once I place it on the ladder, slide it out of the way, step above it, I can slide the Epic Step out, allowing me a big, wide, comfortable platform. Now it allows me not only more comfort, but allows me to turn and face the work, placing both hands to get the work done. To get down from the Epic Step, just reverse the process. Slide it back in, step on top of it on the way down. You'll find a lot of use for that Epic Step. A lot of the versatility of the Epic comes because the sides of the ladder are independent from each other. So by offsetting one side longer and one side shorter, now the Epic can be used on unlevel ground, whether it's hillsides, sloping ground, maybe your deck or your porch, or staircases. One of the biggest reasons people have bought Little Giant ladders for so many years is the ability to work in staircases. We can also configure the ladder in a 90-degree position. Make sure that this side of the ladder is at least 90 degrees, and that allows you to climb up the opposite side, being nearly square next to walls, windows, maybe even hedges without leaning the ladder against the work. You're right up next to it. To create that extension ladder position, simply bring the ladder into its stored configuration, unlocking the hinge one more time. We're always going to make sure that we have the wheels pointed towards the top. Now we'll lay the Epic on the ground, telescoping these legs to be the length or the height that we might need. Do the same thing here at the top. Now this part's really important. We want to make sure that we place the bottom of the Epic against something or someone to give it ballast. So hand over hand, we can reach the height that we need. Let me show you what I mean. Having the ladder based at the bottom, whether it's footing or foundation at the bottom of the wall that you're leaning the ladder against, allows you to raise the Epic hand over hand and pulling it away from the wall allows you to put it into that extension ladder position. We'll always caution you to set the ladder at a 4-to-1 ratio or a 75-degree angle. For every 4 feet the ladder's going up, the bottom of the Epic should be 1 foot away from that wall that we're leaning the ladder against. You'll notice in this configuration that the Epic acts a lot like other multi-purpose ladders that Little Giant makes, but this is where the Epic is really going to come into play because of those safety rails. We'll show you in a second how those safety rails would stand me away from obstacles, gutters, windows, overhead. To bring the Epic down from its extension ladder configuration, you'll just reverse the process. Make sure that we're putting the bottom of the ladder against that foundation or wall. That's going to give it ballast and strength. There is a potential that some of the larger Epic sizes may become top heavy, so make sure to secure the bottom of the ladder so hand over hand we can bring it back down. Put the ladder back on its backside and bring the ladder into its shorter size. Now we're ready to turn the Epic into a scaffolding system. Simply by unlocking the rapid locks, we can slide one outer section completely off. Do that with the other side. Now we have a 4-foot trestle. We'll caution you never to use the trestle as a separate stepladder. There are stickers and warnings reminding you this is only designed to be used as a trestle in this scaffolding configuration. Now this is where those trestle brackets will come into play, included in your Epic bundle. We'll take these as a pair and place them on the outer channel and lock them into place. Those trestle brackets will lock one outer channel of the ladder to the other. Again, make sure that the tabs of those trestle brackets are on the outside, allowing you to lock that metal pin on the inside. Now with these two trestles on firm level ground, they're the same height. So think about a 2x12 piece of wood would be okay, or now would be a great time to get a little giant plank. We have those available in a variety of sizes and configurations. Now we can place those on the rungs, allowing you to get jobs done faster, easier, and you have different heights available and different lengths. Now as we reverse the process, unlock the rapid locks, remove the trestle brackets, and now we'll reconfigure the ladder. Now as we slide the ladder back together, you'll notice that I saved this section with the wheels for the side of the ladder that has the air deck ports. That'll be important when you put the ladder into the extension ladder position to make sure that the wheels are on the top. One of the unique features that are standard on the Epic multi-purpose ladders are the ratchet levelers. Down here at the bottom, both in the A-frame configuration or the extension ladder position, we can extend one leg a little bit or a lot longer than the other side. This will give you many inches of travel both on the left and the right. So when you're setting a ladder on firm level ground, never stack a rock, a brick, or a piece of wood underneath the ladder. Since you have these accessories on board, make sure that you position the ladder to create a firm level base. When you're done with the ratchet levelers, simply squeeze this orange housing, and that will bring that leg back up into its stored position. Another accessory that adds safety and versatility to the Epic are called the safety rails. When you put the ladder into the extension ladder position, the first position that we can place the safety rails is the walk-through position. With this housing on the outside, squeezing this collar in allows this metal pin to travel freely in and out. We can place this on the outside of the Epic, squeezing in this metal housing. Make sure that again that metal pin is fully seated and locked into place. We do that on both the left and the right. Now we can adjust the length or the height of those safety rails by squeezing this lock on the side, telescoping the length to be any one of these lengths. Do that on both the left and the right. Now, when putting the ladder in that extension ladder position, those safety rails are designed to allow you to step through those rails onto a roof line. Instead of needing to transition around the side of the ladder, we simply walk through. We would recommend abiding by the OSHA standard of having at least 3 feet of the ladder or safety rails extended above the roof line to safely transition both on and off the ladder. To bring the ladder down, we just reverse the process. And the safety rails can be placed in the other configuration. Again, squeezing this collar allows you to slide it off of this housing and now onto this horizontal housing the same way. Squeeze the collar in to unlock it, making sure that that metal pin is locked into place. Now, not only can I extend the safety rail to be the width that I need, but I can also configure the arms to stand me away from the eave, the overhang, or the gutters. So this is what's going to be making contact with the wall. We do that on both the left and the right side. Now that extension ladder can stand away from eaves and overhangs to get around larger windows. And these safety rails are adjustable in lengths, or now adjustable in width. So find the configuration that's correct for the job that you're doing, and of course be safe when you're using the ladder in the extension ladder position. And for storage and transportation, the safety rails can be inverted in their stored length and placed this way on the outside. We'll do the same on the other side. Now the safety rails are always with my Epic and available the next time I need them. The Epic also comes with wheels, which allows you to cart the ladder from job to job or from place to place a little bit easier than even carrying the ladder. And the solution to store your Epic ladder is also included in that bundle. This is the ladder rack. It also comes with the wood screws necessary to mount this against the studs in the garage, 16-inch on center, and once that's secured onto the wall, now your Epic can be stored safely. So with the safety rails securely in place, the air deck locked into the top, when we close the ladder, the Epic step can also be secured upside down on the second rung with the ladder locked into place. Take advantage of the wheels, and now we can store the entire system all in one convenient place. And a few quick reminders here. Choose the right ladder for the job, set it up correctly, and maintain 3 points of contact when you're climbing up and down any ladder. Hi, I'm Kenyon from Little Giant Ladder Systems, here to demo the Jumbo Step by Little Giant Ladders. Jumbo Step, pretty easy to operate. It really comes down to the hinge. On the right and the left, you'll notice that one finger ought to do it. One on the right, one on the left, being able to unlock, fold that bar out of the way. Of course, you can use the ladder without the bar, and to fold it up, just simply pull on that top step, the front of that top step. We'll do it again one more time. Take the front of the top step, fold it straight up. The rest of the ladder should follow. And to carry it, we're just gonna reach around, grab it like this, and away you go. To set the ladder up, you'll just reverse the process. Fold the ladder open, bring the bar up. Again, always make sure that both of the hinges, left and right, are completely locked for your safety. You'll notice that up here at the top cap tool tray is completely fully functional. You've got recesses for hammers, screwdrivers, putty knives, and even hooks off to the side. One of my favorite parts, of course, are a cradle to put your cell phone, whether you put it in landscape or portrait mode to take your instruction book, which in this day and age would be YouTube University. 3 quick reminders. Always make sure you choose the right ladder for the job, set it up correctly, and maintain 3 points of contact when you're both climbing up and down your ladder. Hi, this is Kenyon with Little Giant Ladder Systems. Today we're going to demo the Mega Light. Now, the Mega Light is a lot like our other multi-purpose ladders in that the hinge creates the shape of the ladder and the lock tabs create the length or the height of the ladder. Pretty easy to use, but let's go through it step by step. If we unlock the hinge by pushing those in with the palm of our hand, they're unlocked and can now be rotated to its stored or locked position. To unlock it again, palm of the hand unlocks the hinge, open it up into its A-frame position, and then again into the extension ladder position. To make the ladder taller in any one of these configurations, we're simply going to unlock the lock tabs. If you set them off to the side just below the hole, now we can slide the ladder open. Pushing the ladder away from these legs will allow these legs to slide down to the desired height. We have 1 foot intervals to create the length or the height that we might need. Do the same thing over here on this side, where we unlock these lock tabs by pulling them out, setting them just below the hole, and hand over hand, achieving the height that we might need. Always make sure that these lock tabs are fully seated and in place. Before I climb the ladder, I always get into the habit of pulling the side that I'm climbing towards me to make sure that that's tight and ready to go. The Mega Light is prepared 300-pound capacity Type 1A, which is 300 pounds on each side at the same time. It's one of the very highest ratings that you can find on any ladder. If we're going to use it on a hillside or unlevel ground, we're just going to offset these legs, again, depending on which job that we need them to do. If we're working in staircases, then that change is going to be pretty dramatic. So I can adjust this side to be up on the staircase, the lower side to be down on the floor or even on one of the lower stairs. If we're using it on unlevel ground, we would do just the same thing, but you might want to alternate 1 foot intervals on this side compared to the other 1 foot intervals on that side. If we're using it in a 90-degree position, this allows me to climb up this side and be just about square next to the work. The rule of thumb here is this side of the ladder needs to be at least 90 degrees or greater so that you can be safe. Again, climb up this side. If you can face the ladder and face the work at the same time, that's always the best rule of thumb. To use the ladder in the extension ladder position, we'll do the same thing, just in a different position. Relocking the lock tabs in place, unlock the hinge again, rotate it around until it's straight. Now this is where I'm going to lay it on the ground or in the grass. Pulling out these lock tabs, now I can adjust the length of the ladder to be the desired height that I might need. We could do the top, we could also do the bottom. And now I flip the ladder over. This is where I would normally use the foundation of my home. Maybe a coworker or a family member could foot the ladder there at the bottom, giving you some strength or ballast there at the bottom. As hand over hand, you bring the ladder up to its vertical position. Of course, your Mega Light is wider at the top and the bottom for a reason, to give you that stability, unlike other traditional extension ladders. We'll always recommend that when you're using the ladder in the extension ladder position, to set it up at a 75-degree angle, meaning that for every 4 feet you're going up, the ladder should be 1 foot away at the bottom. It works out to be a 75-degree angle. Anything less than that or greater than that could potentially be a ladder issue. To reverse the process, we'll just bring it down the same way that we brought it up, flipping the ladder over, pulling out these lock tabs, and bringing the ladder back to its stored position. Unlock the hinge one more time. Into the A-frame, or even completely stored in that storage position. The ladder can be carried this way on your shoulder. That's the way I'll do it. Or your Mega Light is also prepared with wheels so that you can tilt it back and roll it to the next job. Your Mega Light can also be separated to create 2 portable trestles. By unlocking the lock tabs, sliding the outer sections completely off, we do that on both the left and the right. Now the inner section can be set over to the side, but the outer section, compatible with these trestle brackets that will lock into place, Always make sure that this outer tab is lined up to the outside of this channel, and then that lock tab will hold that in place. We do that on both the right and the left, and now we can lock this section to this other outer section. Again, ensuring that the outer tab is on the outside of that channel. Lock those into place. Now with the aid of one of our fixed or telescoping planks, you can lay this on the rungs to create a portable scaffolding system. To put the ladder back together, we'll do just the opposite by pulling these trestle brackets out and then sliding the outer sections back onto this inner base. A quick reminder here, when you disassemble the ladder to create these two separate trestles, don't ever use those trestles as separate step ladders. Slide the sections back together. You'll also notice that the Megalite is prepared with what we call accessory ports. These are compatible with both our fuel tank and air deck accessories. Of course, you can check our website for the details on how those work. And a few quick reminders here. Always choose the right ladder for the job, set it up correctly, maintain 3 points. Another versatile accessory to be used on your multi-purpose or articulating ladders by Little Giant Ladder Systems. This is rated for 300 pounds, so it's designed for you to stand on, and you can use it in a variety of situations. To unlock the rapid locks, simply rotate those 90 degrees. Now, the Platform Pro can be set in two different settings, the longer setting. Again, make sure before using the Platform Pro that those are locked and fully seated. Can be used in this interior setting. Now, when standing on the ladder for long durations, your feet have a lot less fatigue. Again, facing the work, facing the ladder, usually a best practice. This allows you to do that comfortably and safely. Using it on the outside of the ladder, again, make sure that the Platform Pro is set to the correct setting. Making sure that those rapid locks are fully seated and locked into place. Now, when working on the ladder, slide this in out of the way. You can step right on top of it. On your way past it, slide it out with one foot, and now both feet have a comfortable, secure place to stand. A lot less foot fatigue, and allows you to turn and face your work. Again, maintain 3 points of contact as best you can, and always when you're ascending and descending the ladder. To get down, simply step up to the rung above, slide it in with your foot, and step on top of it. It's important to note that the Platform Pro can be used on the inside and the outside, both in the A-frame and the extension ladder position, again, for comfort, stability, even a certain amount of safety when you're on your articulating or multi-purpose ladder. The Platform Pro, certainly designed for you to stand on with its 300-pound capacity, but it's also designed for your tools and equipment. There are recesses and cutouts for just about everything, even clips that will hold your paint tray securely in place when you're working from your ladder painting. Now you can use the Platform Pro whether you're working on your ladder, having your tools up on the ladder with you, or if you're working on the ground and simply working from your ladder. It's designed to be placed on any rung, again, whether it's on the inside or the outside of the ladder. Now with the recesses, you have a place to put the chuck of your drill, whether you're here or if you have a belt clip, you can place it conveniently off to the side. Hammers, screwdrivers, putty knives. We load this thing up so that you have a place for just about every tool and working again more conveniently, more efficient with your tools and other equipment right with you. And these are just a few options that we've shown you using the Platform Pro. This will open up a whole world of versatility when using this to stand on or for your tools and your equipment. We'd love for you to share with us how you've been able to use your Platform Pro in the comments below. And a few quick reminders here. Choose the right ladder for the job, set it up correctly, maintain 3 points of contact when you're climbing up or down any ladder. This is the Platform Pro by Little Giant Ladder Systems. Are compatible with a number of our articulating multi-purpose ladders. To check to make sure that the trestle brackets are compatible with your Little Giant ladder, check the compatibility chart on our website or simply call the 1-800 number and check with one of our customer experience experts. To make the ladder into the trestles or to set up the scaffolding system, simply unlock the side locks that you have. Now I'm showing you with the Velocity, it has rock locks. Your ladder may have J-hooks or lock tabs or even rapid locks, but the use is the same. Unlock the sides and simply slide the outer section of your ladder completely off. You'll do that on both the left and the right side. Now the inside section becomes a trestle. A reminder here, never to use this trestle as a separate step ladder. It's never designed to be used that way. Please don't ever use your inside trestle in that manner. As we set this off to the side, it also has its own skid-resistant feet at the bottom. Now those trestle brackets can be used inside the top. Simply by sliding this into that outer channel, always make sure that this tab is on the outside of that channel. Now we can lock that lock back into place. We do that on both the left and the right side, making sure that they're completely seated and locked into place. Now we can take the other section of the ladder and do the same thing, making sure that the tabs are on the outside of the outer channel. Now your multi-purpose or articulating ladder can be used with one of our planks to create a portable, time-saving scaffold system. Our planks come in a variety of sizes and lengths to complete that system. And a few quick reminders here. Choose the right ladder for the job, set it up correctly, and maintain 3 points of contact when you're climbing up and down.
The air deck. The air deck accessory is fantastic for a number of our multi-purpose ladders. Now, make sure in your instruction booklet if the air deck is compatible with your Little Giant ladder. If you have any questions, you can always call the 1-800 number, consult with one of our customer experience representatives, and they can tell you if the air deck will work with your ladder. The air deck holds tools, recesses for hammers, putty knives, loose equipment up here, round gallons, and if we remove this receptacle here, we also have a place for quartz and a place to put the chuck of your drill or even a cup holder. It will hold up to 25 pounds worth of equipment. The other thing that the air deck will do, as you climb the ladder, you'll notice that on your Little Giant ladder, there are receptacles to receive the air deck in a vertical fashion. Your Little Giant ladder might be different. I'm showing you this on the select step. As you climb up the ladder, you'll also notice that the air deck will hold your hands, giving you that balance, stability that's great as you climb close to the top of your ladder. By lifting this, now it's in a position where I can load that up with up to 25 pounds worth of equipment. To operate the deck of the air deck, simply squeeze in these orange buttons that are facing towards you. As you're squeezing the left and the right, now you can slide that air deck into its storage position. A number of Little Giant ladders will also receive the air deck in a horizontal fashion. To remove the air deck, you'll simply squeeze in these orange locks, and then you can slide that out. You'll now slide that air deck in to the receptacles in a horizontal fashion. Always make sure that these are locked before loading that with equipment. And a few quick reminders here. Always choose the right ladder for the job, set it up correctly, and maintain 3 points of contact.
Tank. It attaches to the air deck just like this, pops in these holes, holds about a gallon of cleaning solution or paint. It also has a magnet for your brush to hook onto your roller right here, so all the paint drips to the bottom of the bucket. It is made of a special polymer that doesn't allow paint to stick to it, so it's a very easy cleanup when you're done. It's called the fuel tank, and it's from Little Giant, and it is a great addition to any ladder you might have.